So I'm Ronak, and what I'm going to really talk about is not that how you're going to build business website, but actually what I want to talk about is how the world is changing, right? See, internet as a concept has been there for the last 20 years. All of you agree? जब internet शुरू हुआ था तो website भी शुरू हुआ था. All of you agree? But why on the planet has it not scaled? Facebook is the only product that anybody eligible on the planet who has access to internet uses that product. WhatsApp is getting there. Website is what the internet started with. It has not scaled to all 1 billion people. In terms of number of identities that exist on the planet and number of websites that you have, of course, you don't confuse yourself with there are trillions of websites on the planet. Of course there are. But then one guy creating multiple. That is not a win. In Facebook, each one of us has an identity. Each one of us see value in that product, and hence we adopted it. But website as a concept, what happened to that, right? That's what I'm going to talk about. Make sense? Oh, perfect. And guys, please make it a conversation, don't make it a monologue. Wherever you want to stop me, please stop me because I speak fast. So please stop me if you want to. Well, okay. Perfect. Yeah, so the future of business website design. I'm going to focus primarily on business websites. The reason being, if you're a blogger, you want to, as a hobby site, you can have any number of requirements, right? So just to have a focused discussion, I'm going to focus only on business website. What should be the identity when it comes, what should be the online identity when it comes to a business? A guy who deals with money. That's business for me. He may or may not have a store, he might be a freelancer. End of the day, he makes money. He wants to make money. That's a business for me. Okay. Wow. The scroll, the fonts are not visible. So yeah, a typical business website, this is what it looks like. You have a banner on top, you'll have latest blogs in the middle, and you'll have about us page, company profile, maybe the product catalog, right? How many of you agree this is what the business website design looks like? Right now, it's right? कोई भी website देख लो, ऐसे दिखता. And not this, right? When do you, okay, sorry, there. So your customers, do you have created business website for people? How many times do you think a customer updates that bloody website? Hardly, right? The industry standard is once in 3 years. When you log into now let me take a step back. When you log into Facebook, how many times do you see a new content? Every time. When you log into Twitter, how many times do you see a new content? Every second. Wow, every second. When you log into a bloody merchant website, you see the same content for full of 3 years. Right? I mean, 1 or 3 years, they don't update. They don't bloody update their identity. Look at the offline business, the store. The store gets new inventory. The business keeps evolving. Agar dhanda sahi kar raha to. And again, assumption, the guy's doing a legitimate business, no black money and stuff, right? So a legitimate business, his business is growing, but his identity doesn't grow. It is stuck, right? So now that's the problem statement. Now let's look at the other side of things. The end user, the guy who wants to buy, the guy who wants to interact with the business. What is their behavior today? All of your end users also in your life, right? How do you consume any shopping or merchant-related information? Anybody raise hands? Where do you buy stuff from? Brilliant. Online e-commerce sites, right? Brilliant. So that means, again, Amazon is a product. What you guys got to think is what's the philosophy behind the product. I'm trying to walk you through the philosophy of the things happening so that you know what's a trend, right? Now look at Amazon. What did Amazon do? It said, Bhaiya, you run a shoe shop. You give me your inventory information, which is product name, product description, price, blah, blah, blah. Let me take that. I will create an aggregated product inventory like a kirana shop. How many of you remember the concept of kirana shop? Bachpan mein. Beta jaake doodh le aao. Beta jaake sabun le aao, right? So it's that one shop. You go, there's a shop, there's a guy standing, acha ye saman dena. It's an inventory aggregator. That's Amazon. That's what they have replicated, right? Sorry, do you agree? The other part is social media, where you also consume, you see Facebook ads and all that. Now, what does that represent? In the offline world, of course, your mom used to send you to Kirana store. At least my mom used to do that. Second, when you're chilling with your friends, arey, what a cool shirt, dude. Nice shirt, kahan se kharida? Right? So the social commerce existed offline. And that's what Facebook, Twitter, and all these guys are taking over, right? They are enabling businesses, they're giving businesses access to a platform where people are interacting with each other and trying to see, hey, how can I insert commerce over there? Right? Yes? No? Oh, perfect. So that's social media. So there's an inventory aggregator in the market. There's a social approach because consumers want to see each other. Example, let's say you're buying a wedding gown. Let's say you're buying a house. You would never go to a site and say, buy now. You want to talk to your friends. You want to see what are the other options, what are people talking about, what are the reviews, right? You would never go and press the buy button. Now, there's a third thing happening in the market. Can anybody guess? E-commerce, social media. What's the third thing? What do you think is the third thing? You get, huh? Matlab? Huh, like what is the technology that's been currently used for service delivery? Huh? Blogs.
Like Ola and all that service delivery.
So Ola is, see, again, you can have a vertical specific, like Ola cab guy. How many cab guys will you have as your customers, right? I'm talking about SMEs in general, horizontal approaches. See, these are horizontal brands, Amazon and these guys. Third is, it's an enabler. It doesn't lead to transaction. Guesses. Somebody said something. Yeah. Mobility. Next, what did you say? Search engine. What else? Search engine sort of. So search engine, I would. Okay, I should rename the header here. It's not social media. It's you read information and then take decision. Amazon, you see the product and then take the decision. Here you consume a lot of reviews and content and friends and all that and then take decision. Search and yevo ek saath, because it's information consumption, right? Third is this. How many of you have seen the grocery guy sending pictures, not grocery guy, this jewelry guy sending pictures on WhatsApp? I was buying a car and then this car guy sends me pictures, sir, dekho. That's become the new way of doing tech. That's become a new way of leveraging technology to drive business. Conversation, which existed always offline. Aap dukaan mein jao, you go to a shop and you start talking to the guy. He doesn't show you a sample, sir, buy. He doesn't do that. He doesn't show you reviews and ratings and doesn't get the public to talk to all these guys who have bought. He talks to you. That's offline. That's the offline world, right? So that's the third. See, anything that this technology world is doing is a mimic of offline world. So there's no rocket science technology, right? Always try to correlate what's happening offline and what's the technology doing. Anyway, so conversation. People want to talk. When you're buying a car, a Valentine's Day gift, a special cake, customized cake. So wherever the consumer needs, wherever the consumer is stuck in the buying process, he wants to know more. He wants to talk to someone. And that's when conversation is important. So your business needs, it is just not about putting a website out there, right? There should be able to way to talk to your consumers. Hence, users today prefer online shopping because it's easy, logistics is taken care of, payment grid is taken care of. They prefer social media, more trust. I know this guy bought it. They prefer conversations because conversation helps them take that jump. Okay, my doubts are clear. I trust this guy. Let me go to the purchase. That's what is happening. Now just look back. I showed you the website, typical website. Does it do any of these? There are a lot of players in the market trying to do piecemeals, right? So you might find a Facebook plugin and show it here. You might find a payment gateway and integrate. You actually might find that Zopim or Talk.to is free of cost. Israeli startup. Talk.to is free of cost. I recommend that. Zopim is some $14 per user per month. I don't remember. But yeah, there are a lot of chat plugins, right? You put a chat plugin, you're done, right? And the SME gets he has an app where he can chat. But it's like, it's all distributed, right? Now and this is the problem why the SME market is completely screwed. Because the guy who's going to him, depending on his knowledge, he gives the merchant, sir, this is what is happening in the industry. The merchant has no clue, right? The merchant has no clue that what is the right thing to do. He really doesn't understand technology. He really doesn't have time to understand technology. He should run bloody business. Running business in India is a really pain in the ass. I mean, everybody knows that. So he's really busy with his business. He really doesn't have time to understand technology. And unfortunately, what has happened is a lot of dishonest people have gone there and set wrong expectations. Sir, 2000 rupees do Google page rank 1 pakka. You've heard that pitch, right? I just hate that pitch, right? Because SEO is a bluff in the market. Because Google doesn't say SEO, right? Nobody can gamify SEO. It's a bluff in the market. But then people have really spoiled the market because the SME is not given the right solution. SME, it's all piecemeal. It's like a halwai dukan, right? Somebody gives you rasgulla, somebody gives you gulab jamun, somebody gives you something nonsense. So that's what is happening in the market, by the way. And the users, because they want reviews, ratings, they want to see product designs, they want shopping assistant. I'm trying to just correlate everything into what actually people need. Hence, your websites need to cater to the, based on business type, needs to cater to the experience that a consumer needs today, right? You cannot have an experience of, like, Shahjahan times, and say that I'll put plugins on top and make things happen, right? The website grounds up needs to understand the consumer who's going to land to that site. Well, that's where the world is going. So your site needs to have, so I'm going to tell you the principles. When you go to a SME, right, if you really want to give him a good service, please follow the principles. Then I'll tell you what is my vested interest in that. Of course, I run a company, so I'm trying to sell you something. Anyway, so it's very important that the SME, the merchant, the business owner should talk about his business every single day. Why? As a consumer, when you look for information, whether in a search engine or social media or a chat, you want the latest and the most relevant information. Nobody wants the old and the relevant information. Nobody wants latest and irrelevant information. People only want one combination, latest and relevant. All of you agree? So what happens is when you create a website, today it might be latest because today you went to the SME and took all his latest content and you designed a beautiful site. That content is no more latest after 2 months. You might see when you launch a domain, you might see a good page rank, right? Benefit of doubt, Google gets you higher, great traffic because it's a new domain, you have the advantage. After 6 months, you will see the traffic going down. And your customer will shout at you, "Hare, kya hua?" They will say, "Sir, no, let me write content for you." That is wrong. You don't run the customer's business. The customer runs his business. Look at what Facebook and Google are doing. They have very well understood that, boss, how many of you have GMB, Google My Business? Oh, you have heard of GMB? Have you seen that mail? The first line is get online. You know what the second line is? Talk about your business and get discovered. How many of you have created a Facebook page? Right? You create a Facebook page. What is the next step? You have to create a post. The more posts you create, the more engagement you get. What does the website developer tell you? Sir, content de do, ye raha aapka site. That's it. It becomes irrelevant it becomes non-latest after 2 months. You die. You need to enable your customer. And it's very important your customer does it because he is the guy running the business. To enable him to update to tell you or to have a way to push content regularly onto his identity. Second, sorry, my bad. Personal experience. Now that's very important. How many of you have seen, okay, I do not want to be sexist here, but the point is, women are the 80% of e-commerce decisions are influenced by women, global standard, influenced by women. How? A lot of purchases happen with them, and which man buys it? I mean, which man, as in a guy above 25 who earns salary, buys it. Either is influence, if you want to buy stuff, you'll ask your wife, "Arey, kaisa dikh raha, acha dikh raha ki nahi?" Or you ask your girlfriend, how does it look on me, right? So 80% of the online commerce is influenced by women. Now, if you look at how many times have you seen a girl or a lady open jabong.com and mintra.com live on the desktop while they might be working on something else? Have you seen that behavior? People open Jabong and Mintra ka website. Why? Because of the latest deals. The deals keep changing every 1 hour. During a special big billion day and all that nonsense happens, people want new information. That's number one. Number two, when you log into Facebook, I have 3,000 friends. If I start seeing all content, I'll die. So personal experience. The Facebook knows what I want to see. Think of an SME site. SME site doesn't know really what the guy coming from Chennai wants to see. SME site it's a silver bullet approach. Dunya mein koi bhi aayega, I mean, whichever guy comes on the planet, he'll see this experience. There's no personalization of the experience. That as a technology doesn't exist. As a concept doesn't exist in SME website. Third, continuously learn and adapt. So, I mean, both first 2 points are correlated. The website design needs to adapt with the market. What are your consumers searching for? Which elements is the consumer clicking on your website? Right? Because every consumer is different. A guy who has come last time checked a shirt, today, and he didn't buy it. Next time he comes, you want to show him, hey, by the way, last time you saw this t-shirt, are you interested now? Or give him a discount on top. So it needs to inherently have a technology to learn and adapt. Hence, guys, Amazon and Flipkart and Jabong, you name a company, you name a website identity, Facebook, Twitter, a domain name that is famous, you would definitely find all these features in them, for sure. I can bet my life on that. Fourth, ability to share. And now this has become the main thing, right? The more I share, the more what I create, and that creates trust for the domain. Last, assistance. Very important. Now, just close your eyes and think of any domain on the planet that is famous. And you'll find all these 5 features in them. Now, right, facebook.com, usme messenger hota hai, you can, assistance, matlab, various forms of it, but the technology is the same. This is the technology. The positioning of the technology will change. Here, chat is within friends, right? Because here it's a social network. But any website that is big today will have. Amazon has a chat, Flipkart has a chat, everybody has a chat, right? And everybody has ability to share, they learn and adapt, personal experience, and the content keeps changing. That's very important on the domain. Now think of all the websites that you might have created for your customers. How many of these 5 principles are actually aligned? Right? Hence, by the way, before I go to the solution, these are the 5 principles you should definitely cater if you really want to ensure that the customer sees ROI. And by the way, just to show you how big the market is, there are 47 million SMEs in India and only 700,000 people have any kind of identity. And that's the reason, right? Because the users have moved on, the business identity as a concept is still stuck at the WordPress era. WordPress and all these guys did a brilliant job 10 years hence, 10 years before. This is a 10 years old technology, right? It is not, and of course, there are a lot of plugins in the market and all that, but as a framework, it was designed to make a website. It was never designed as a framework to enable businesses' website. So yeah, it's a huge market. The guy who cracks it, 200 million SMEs across the planet. Google is after it. Facebook is after it because Facebook has solved the consumer problem. 1 billion people, I was reading an article today, a quarter of the living population in the world logs into Facebook every month. It just blows my mind away. And as a tech guy, it gives me infinity complex. Anyway. But the SMEs, right? Nobody has really aggregated the SMEs. Amazon is trying the consumer route by aggregating inventory. Nobody has got the attention of no technology. Again, no technology has really got attention of all the 200 million SMEs across the planet. And that's a space which everybody is interested in. Now, Google is getting in that space with GMB. They tried with GXBO, Get India Business Online. Oh, brilliant, you guys heard about it. So that started with that. It was actually GXBO. It was a global launch. In Nigeria, it was Get Nigeria Business Online. In India, it was Gibo. And Facebook is trying to push Facebook pages. Now you see Facebook trying to, on a post I can tag a inventory on Facebook so that I can do commerce. You see WeChat in China trying to get commerce going. They're a $1 trillion company now. WhatsApp is very soon going to release their APIs for this thing. So everyone is trying to get the SMEs on board. But think about the SME. Do you think an SME, if you are an SME, do you want your business to be 100% reliant on Amazon? Do you want your business to be 100% on Facebook? No. If you want to build an entity, you need to have something of your own. You need to. So I'm not saying here that, hey, e-commerce is to die. E-commerce will be there because it actually solves the problem. But how do you enable the SME with a tool to grow beyond e-commerce, to make his own identity? Like, my name is Ronak. How do I become a Ronak.com where people come and buy from me, rather than where I'm losing a percentage? See, end of the day, if it's a lifestyle business, it's okay. He can just register himself on Amazon and be happy in life and chill and earn money, right? But the SME who wants to grow also has to put in effort, and hence he has to talk to the business. He has to, really see it as a growing business thing. I'm talking about only those businesses, the SMEs who are going to survive. Please understand me clearly. The world is changing over the next 5 years. There's internet happening. Today you might see offline commerce, COD and all that nonsense. Think 5 years hence or 10 years hence when there's automated cars on the road. Think that. We are all going to stay. You see that here, right? Those days, e-commerce will be there and that'll be the next big thing. Guess the SME who's going to survive. Kiska dukaan bachega? My hypothesis is that you won't find maybe electronic shop where you'll buy mobile phones because those phones are bought online. You won't find commodity products will completely move online. Where SMEs will exist is the ones who want to survive, want to build their own identity, and where the consumer is involved in the buying process. Where it's something beyond, this is what you get, take it or leave it. Today, website is that. Okay, how many of you travel in train? That's what, oh, brilliant. Train, right? Indian train. How many of you have seen people who are throwing their handkerchief from the khidki, from the window and blocking their seat? You have seen that, right? That is what is website today. That's exactly what is website today, right? It's like, हाँ भैया रुमाल डाल दो, मेरा website बन गया. And they forget about the freaking website, right? And unfortunately, that's the truth of India, truth everywhere. So yeah, as Nowfloats, we have been doing this business over the last 4 years. We have 2 lakh paid merchants on our platform. And okay, being an entrepreneur, we are greedy, right? I mean, I have an inferiority complex that, hey, what if Facebook can be the technology which everybody uses, what will be the technology which will power everybody's online identity, anybody who wants it, right? So we are trying to fight with WordPress, and we are launching this new technology framework, which any developer can use to provide all that you saw. At a high level, when you make a business website on Kitsune, your customer gets an app where your customer can update content through app, your customer can update content through SMS, number one. Sorry? No? Okay. So you get an iPhone and iOS app, and then what we also ensure is the site has, unfortunately we call it automated SEO because of no other term. So the biggest type is that over the last 3 years we are machine learning people, right? We believe in AI. What we did is, once the merchant keeps updating content, so we get 7,000 business updates every day. 7,000 to 8,000 business updates every day. People creating content. We don't create it for them, we don't understand business. Moment they talk about the business, we understand the content and restructure the entire HTML for optimize for search, so that it becomes relevant for any robot to crawl it. You understand, no? Page design, page one se kaun sa page pe link hoga and all that nonsense. Third, we have an inbuilt, so the system also provides you inbuilt conversation plugin, which the bot, so it's a mix and match of bot and human, because again, we do not want the merchant to be chatting with the consumer every time. He might be bloody sleeping, right? So there's a bot which talks to the merchant, talks to the consumer, and if required, flips to the merchant, right? That's what happens. The fourth interesting thing is pretty cool, right? And I think that's not going to happen today, that's going to happen in 4 years, but we do it as part of the design. How many of you know A/B testing? A/B testing? Oh, nice. What is A/B testing, by the way? Hanji? Alpha? Right? So you have one design A, you have design B, you have design C. You put all the 3 designs, and there are 100 people they're exposed to. And you see 70% people use design A, 20% people use design B, 10% people use design C, right? Then what do you take a call? Right? And you decide to screw the other 30%, isn't it? That's A/B testing, my dear friend. Right? We do a bit reverse. What we do is, you can upload as many designs for the SME, and the system decides design A works for this set of customers in Chennai and ensures that only that renders, and figures out what design works in which other city, and ensures, so it learns from where the user is coming from, which cities the user is coming from, what elements it interact with, and ensures that it learns that behavior, so the next time a guy comes from the city, it knows what to render, which design to render. So this is the inherent, you can upload as many designs as possible, and the system won't do A/B testing. The system will figure out what fits whom, which design fits which consumer, and that's how we learn and adapt. We don't do A/B testing. We don't screw people. Right? So yeah, thank you. My name is Ronak. Any questions you guys have?